The screech of metal against asphalt cut through the midnight silence like a blade. Maya Sinclair felt her world tilt sideways as the black sedan skidded across licked pavement, headlights carving wild arcs through falling snow. Time stretched into crystalline moments, the steering wheel slipping from her grip, the passenger seat where her sister Elena should have been, the terrible understanding that she was utterly alone. The car came to rest against a towering pine, steam rising from the crumpled hood like ghostly fingers. Maya's hands trembled as she fumbled for her phone, blood trickling from a cut above her left eye. No signal. There was never signal in this god-forsaken stretch of Colorado wilderness. She stumbled from the wreckage, her designer heels sinking into snow that bit through her stockings. The storm had transformed the mountain road into an alien landscape, all familiar landmarks swallowed by white darkness. Her breath formed desperate clouds as she called out into the void. "Help, anyone." That's when she saw the lights. A massive cabin materialized through the blizzard like something from a fever dream, its windows glowing amber against the storm. Maya staggered toward it, her legs weak with shock and cold, her black cocktail dress torn and stained with blood. The same dress she'd worn to Elena's memorial service? The door opened before she could knock. Jesus Christ. The voice was rough velvet, tinged with an accent she couldn't place. "What happened to you?" Maya looked up into eyes the color of storm clouds, set in a face that belonged on magazine covers rather than hidden away in mountain wilderness. The man was tall, broad-shouldered, with dark hair that looked like he'd been running his hands through it. A thick scar ran from his left temple to his jawline. Something in his expression suggested he understood exactly what it felt like to survive things that should have killed you. "My car," she whispered, swaying on her feet, "went off the road. I need to call someone." "I need to?" The world tilted again, but this time strong arms caught her before she fell. The stranger's touch burned through her frozen skin like electricity. "Easy," he murmured, his breath warm against her ear. "You're safe now." As he lifted her effortlessly, carrying her into the cabin's golden warmth, Maya caught sight of his hands. They were scarred too. The kind of marks that spoke of violence survived, rather than accidents endured. "I'm Maya," she managed, though speaking felt like swallowing glass. "I know," he said quietly, settling her onto a leather couch near the fireplace. "I've been waiting for you." The words sent ice through her veins that had nothing to do with the storm. "What do you mean you've been waiting for me?" Maya's voice cracked as the stranger pressed a warm cloth to the cut above her eye. His touch was surprisingly gentle for hands that looked like they'd seen war. Poor choice of words, he said, but his storm-gray eyes held secrets that made her pulse race with something other than fear. "I meant I was expecting someone might need help. The storm's been trapping people all week." The lie sat between them like a loaded gun. Maya had built her career as an investigative journalist by recognizing when people were hiding something, and every instinct screamed that this beautiful, scarred stranger was dangerous in ways that had nothing to do with the isolation or the storm. "Where's your phone?" she asked, trying to sit up straighter. "I need to call the police. Report the accident. Cell towers are down." His jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "Have been for days. The landline, too. We're completely cut off until the storm passes." Maya studied his face in the firelight. High cheekbones, a mouth that looked like it rarely smiled, and that scar that spoke of violence survived. He was the most beautiful man she'd ever seen, and possibly the most dangerous. "What do you do up here all alone?" she asked. "I write." The answer came too quickly, rehearsed. "Books. I need the solitude." Another lie. Maya's mind raced through possibilities. Witness protection. Hiding from someone, or someone others were hiding from. The cabin was too well equipped for a simple retreat, to secure. She'd noticed the reinforced door, the expensive security system, the way he'd positioned himself between her and every exit. What kind of books? She pressed. Something flickered across his features. Fiction. Crime novels. Research from experience. The question hung in the air like smoke. His hands stilled on the cloth, his eyes meeting hers with an intensity that made her breath catch. "You could say that." His voice dropped to barely above a whisper. "What about you, Maya? What brought you to my mountain in the middle of the night? The use of my mountain didn't escape her notice. Neither did the way he said her name, like he'd been practicing it. I was driving back from my sister's memorial service. The words tasted like ashes. She died 3 months ago in a car accident. They said, she paused, meeting his gaze. They said it was an accident. He leaned closer, and Maya caught the scent of cedar and something darker, more complex. You don't believe them? Maya's heart hammered against her ribs. Elena's death had been ruled an accident, but the inconsistencies in the police report had been eating at her for months. The brake lines that looked deliberately cut, the missing security footage from the parking garage, the way certain files from Elena's work as a federal prosecutor had mysteriously disappeared.
Oh,
She whispered. I don't. Something shifted in his expression. Recognition, understanding, and beneath it all, something that looked dangerously close to guilt. My name is Damon, he said finally. Damon Cross, and you're right not to believe them. Maya's blood turned to ice. Because I know who killed your sister, he continued, his voice rough with an emotion she couldn't name. And that's why they sent you here tonight. To me, Maya lunged off the couch, adrenaline flooding her system despite the pain screaming through her body. You knew Elena? Her voice was barely controlled fury. You know who killed her and you're hiding up here like a coward? Damon didn't move, but his eyes tracked her every motion like a predator watching prey. Sit down, Maya. You're going to pass out again if you don't tell me what to do. She grabbed the fireplace poker, her hands shaking. Tell me what you know. Tell me right now, or I swear your sister was investigating the Moretti family. His words cut through her rage like a knife. She had evidence that would have sent Victor Moretti to prison for the rest of his life. Human trafficking, money laundering, murder. She was 2 weeks away from presenting it to the grand jury. Maya's grip on the poker faltered. How do you know that? Because I was her inside source? Damon stood slowly, hands visible, non-threatening. I worked for Moretti for 8 years. I did things. He paused, his jaw clenching. Things that still wake me up screaming. But when Elena approached me, offered me a way out, I took it. I gave her everything. Then why is she dead? The words came out broken, desperate. Because someone betrayed us. Someone on her team leaked the investigation. By the time I realized what was happening, it was too late. His voice cracked. I tried to warn her. I called her that night, told her not to go to the parking garage. But she didn't answer. Maya's legs gave out. She sank to the floor, the poker clattering from her grip. You're lying. You're one of them. You killed her yourself, and now, if I wanted you dead, you'd already be dead. The brutal honesty of it stopped her cold. Damon crossed the room in 3 strides, crouching in front of her, but keeping his distance. Your accident tonight wasn't an accident. Maya, they cut your brake lines just like they cut Elena's. But I've been watching you for months, waiting for them to make their move. I rerouted you here. Set up signal jammers on the road so you'd crash where I could reach you. Horror crawled up her spine. You caused the accident? I saved your life. His eyes burned with intensity. The original plan was for you to go off the cliff 3 miles back. You would have died on impact. I gave you a survivable crash instead. Maya's mind reeled. Why? Why would they come after me? Because you've been digging, haven't you? Following Elena's trail. They know you found her hidden files. The ones she kept encrypted on the cloud. Maya's breath caught. She'd found those files 2 weeks ago. Hadn't told anyone. Had barely begun to decode them. How do you? Because they've been watching you just like I have. And 3 days ago, you accessed the wrong file. The one with my name in it. Understanding crashed over her like a wave. They think I know you're the informant. They know you know. And Victor Moretti doesn't leave loose ends. Damon reached out slowly, giving her time to pull away, and gently cupped her face. His thumb traced the cut above her eye, and despite everything, Maya felt heat bloom where he touched her. So here's the situation, he said quietly. We're snowed in for at least 3 days. Maybe 4. They can't reach us, and we can't leave. When this storm breaks, they'll come. And we have 2 choices. What choices? His eyes held hers, and she saw the war raging behind them. The violence he'd survived. The things he'd done. The man he was trying to become. We run. I have money, new identities, a way out of the country. We disappear and never look back. Allah's heart pounded. Or we finish what Elena started. Use these 3 days to compile everything I know, everything she gathered, and take Moretti down for good. His voice dropped to something raw and urgent. But that means going back. Walking into the fire. And there's a very good chance we don't survive it. Maya thought of Elena, her bright laugh. Her unshakable sense of justice. The way she'd believed, truly believed, that one person could make a difference. If we run, he wins. Everyone Elena tried to save, all the people still suffering because of him. They all lose. Yes, Damon said simply. Maya leaned forward. So close, she could feel his breath on her lips. Then we fight. Something fierce and desperate flared in his eyes. And then his mouth was on hers, hot and hungry and tasting like redemption and damnation all at once. Maya kissed him back with 3 months of grief and rage and a need she didn't want to name. Her hands fisting in his shirt as the firelight painted them in shades of gold and shadow. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Damon pressed his forehead to hers. There's something else you need to know, he whispered. About the night Elena died. About who betrayed her. Maya pulled back, searching his face. Tell me. It was Marcus. Marcus Reeves. Your fiancé of the world stopped spinning. You're insane. Maya shoved Damon away, scrambling to her feet. Marcus has been helping me investigate Elena's death. He's been my rock through all of this. Has he? Damon stood slowly, his expression grim. Or has he been keeping tabs on you? Feeding information back to Moretti about every move you make? Marcus is a defense attorney. He has nothing to do with, he has everything to do with it. Damon moved to a desk in the corner, pulling out a laptop. Marcus Reeves. Harvard Law. Joined Hartman and Associates 6 years ago. Want to guess who their biggest client is? Maya felt the floor dropping out from under her. No, the Moretti family. Damon's voice was relentless, each word a hammer blow. He's been on their payroll since he passed the bar. Elena found out 2 weeks before she died. That's what she was going to tell you the night of the accident. Why she asked you to meet her at the garage. Maya's vision blurred. She remembered that night. Marcus insisting she was too tired to drive, offering to pick up Elena instead. Elena's frantic text that never made sense. Don't trust him. Coming for you. Tell Maya. The message had ended there forever. She was trying to warn me. Maya's voice cracked. About Marcus. Damon pulled up files on the screen. Bank transfers. Encrypted emails. Photos of Marcus meeting with men Maya recognized from Elena's investigation. And there, date stamped the night Elena died. A payment of $500,000 to an offshore account in Marcus's name. Blood money, Damon said quietly. For making sure Elena never made it to testify. Maya's knees buckled. Damon caught her, pulling her against his chest as sobs tore through her body. She'd been sleeping next to her sister's killer for 3 months, letting him comfort her. Believing his lies about loving her, about wanting justice for Elena. I'm going to kill him. The words came out cold, empty. I'm going to kill him myself. No. Damon tilted her face up, his eyes fierce. We're going to do something worse. We're going to destroy everything he's built. Everything Moretti's built. We're going to make them pay with their freedom, their empire, their legacy. Because I kept copies of everything. Every transaction, every shipment, every body they buried. I was Moretti's right hand for 8 years, Maya. I know where all the bodies are, literally and metaphorically. He paused. And Elena's files, the ones you found, they're incomplete. You need my testimony to make them stick. Maya's mind raced. If you testify, you'll go to prison too. I know. Damon, I've made peace with it. His thumb traced her jawline, and the tenderness in the gesture nearly broke her. 8 years of blood on my hands, Maya. People dead because of me. Families destroyed. I don't get to walk away clean. But if you turn yourself in, Marcus walks. He's too careful. His name isn't directly on anything. Damon's smile was cold and sharp. Which is why we need him to confess. And I know exactly how to make that happen. Over the next 2 days, they worked. Damon downloaded every file from his encrypted servers, while Maya cross-referenced them with Elena's notes. They built a case that was ironclad, devastating, spanning years of criminal activity, and they planned. On the third morning, the storm broke. Sunlight streamed through the cabin windows, turning the snow-covered landscape into something painfully beautiful. Maya stood at the window, watching the road become visible again. Knowing that soon Marcus would come for her, Damon's arms circled her waist from behind. Pulling her back against him, "Last chance to run," he murmured against her neck. "We could be in Mexico by nightfall. Start over. New names, new lives." Maya turned in his arms, memorizing every scar on his face, every shadow in his eyes. This dangerous, broken man who'd crashed into her life and turned everything upside down, who'd saved her even though it meant destroying any chance he had at freedom. "I can't." She touched his scar, traced it gently. "Elena deserves justice. All those people deserve justice. And you." She paused, her throat tight. "You deserve a chance to make this right. Even if it means I spend the rest of my life in prison." Even then, Damon kissed her, slow and deep and desperate, like he was trying to memorize the taste of her. When they broke apart, his eyes were suspiciously bright. "I fell in love with the wrong sister," he said roughly. "Elena was good, pure, everything right in this world. Your fire and fury and stubborn justice, you're going to get me killed or imprisoned, and I can't even bring myself to care. Damon Marcus will be here within the hour. The signal jammers are off. Let him come." Maya's phone, charging on the counter, suddenly exploded with notifications. Messages from Marcus, each one more frantic than the last. "Maya, where are you? I'm worried sick. Please respond. The police found your car. I'm coming to get you. Stay where you are. Don't trust anyone." The last message had come through 15 minutes ago. "He's close," Damon said, checking his own phone. "And he's not alone. 2 cars. 6 men." Maya's blood ran cold. He's bringing backup. He knows. Of course he knows. Damon pulled a gun from a drawer, checked the magazine. "He's known since the moment you accessed those files. Why do you think they tried to kill you?" "Then this is a trap. For both of us." Damon smiled, and it was the most dangerous expression Maya had ever seen. "Good. Let them come. They think they're hunting us. They have no idea we've been hunting them." Outside, the sound of engines grew louder. Maya's finger hovered over the record button on the app Damon had set up. The one that would live stream everything to the FBI? The press? Everyone. "Once we start this, there's no going back," she said. Damon took her hand, scarred fingers lacing with hers. "Then let's end this. Together." The door burst open. Marcus stood framed in the doorway, handsome and familiar and utterly wrong. His eyes found Maya, then shifted to Damon, and his face transformed into something cold and hateful. "You survived," he said to Maya, but he was looking at Damon. "Both of you. How inconvenient." Maya's finger pressed record. "Hello, Marcus." Her voice was steady, despite the rage coursing through her veins. "I've been waiting for you." Marcus stepped inside, his 5 men fanning out behind him with the practiced ease of professionals. His eyes darted between Maya and Damon, calculating, assessing. "Baby, thank God you're safe." He moved toward her, but stopped when Damon shifted slightly, his body a wall between them. "Who is this? Did he hurt you?" "Don't." Maya's voice cracked like a whip. "Don't you dare pretend. Not anymore." Something flickered across Marcus's face, the mask slipping for just a moment before sliding back into place. "I don't know what he's told you, but Damon Cross." Maya watched Marcus's face drain of color. "You know who he is? You've known all along. Just like you knew Elena was going to testify. Just like you knew exactly where to cut her brake lines. It's insane." But his hand moved to his jacket and Maya saw the bulge of a weapon. Is it? Damon's voice was cold steel. Tell her about the 500,000, Marcus. Tell her about the burner phone you used to coordinate Elena's murder with Tommy Scarlatti. Tell her about the offshore accounts. Marcus's gun cleared his jacket in a smooth motion, aimed directly at Damon's chest. You should have stayed dead. Cross Moretti's been looking for you for months. I know. Damon didn't move, didn't flinch. That's why I came out of hiding. To watch you burn? The only one burning today is you. Marcus's finger tightened on the trigger. Both of you. Tragic accident. The same man who killed Elena, murdered her sister, and then himself. Case closed, except for the live stream. Maya held up her phone, the little red light glowing. The one that's been broadcasting everything you just said to the FBI. The press, and about 50,000 of my followers. Marcus's face went white. You're bluffing, am I? Maya's smile was razor sharp. Check your news alerts, Marcus. See what's trending? One of Marcus's men pulled out his phone, his face draining of color. Boss, she's not lying? It's everywhere. And I'm getting calls. The feds just raided the Moretti compound. They have warrants for everyone, including you. The sound of sirens began to wail in the distance, growing closer. Marcus's gun swung toward Maya. Turn it off. Turn it off right now? Or I swear? Or what? Maya stepped forward, fearless, fury burning in her eyes. You'll kill me like you killed Elena? Go ahead, Marcus. Do it on camera. Show the world exactly what you are. Maya, don't. Damon's voice was urgent, but she couldn't stop. 3 months of grief and rage and betrayal poured out of her. She loved you. Maya's voice broke. Elena loved you like a brother. She trusted you, and you murdered her for money. She was going to destroy everything. Marcus's composure shattered. Years of work, generations of Moretti business, all because your self-righteous sister thought she could play hero. She was a hero. Maya's tears fell freely now. And you're just a coward who sold his soul to monsters? The gun wavered. For a moment, Maya thought he might actually do it. Might pull the trigger and damn himself completely. Then Damon moved. It happened so fast, Maya almost missed it. Damon lunged, not for Marcus, but for her, his body slamming into hers as gunfire exploded through the cabin. They hit the floor hard. Damon covering her completely as bullets shredded the air above them. The sirens were screaming now, so close. Car doors slamming. Voices shouting, FBI, drop your weapons. Chaos erupted. Marcus's men scattered. More gunfire. The acrid smell of cordite and blood. Maya struggled beneath Damon's weight, trying to see, trying to breathe. Damon. Her hands found his back, came away wet and warm. Damon, no. He rolled off her with a groan, blood spreading across his chest from 2 bullet wounds. His storm-gray eyes found hers, and he smiled. That same dangerous smile she'd fallen in love with. Worth it, he whispered. You're worth it, don't you dare. Maya pressed her hands against the wounds, trying to stop the bleeding. Don't you dare die on me, Damon Cross. We had a deal. Justice. Remember? You're supposed to testify. Already did. He touched her face with fingers that trembled. The live stream. The files. That's enough. You're enough. Federal agents swarmed the cabin. Maya heard Marcus screaming, protesting his innocence even as they dragged him away in handcuffs. Saw his men face down on the floor. Felt hands trying to pull her away from Damon. No. She fought them. He needs a hospital. He's dying. Ma'am, let the paramedics work. They pushed her aside. Maya watched through a blur of tears as they cut away Damon's shirt, worked frantically to stabilize him. An agent was asking her questions. Others were securing the scene. Someone wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. It felt like hours. It felt like seconds. Finally, they loaded Damon onto a stretcher. As they carried him past, his eyes fluttered open, found her one last time. Elena would be proud of you, he whispered. I'm proud of you. Then he was gone, rushed to a helicopter that appeared from nowhere. its rotors beating the air like a desperate heartbeat. An agent with kind eyes sat down beside Maya. Agent Chen. FBI? You did good work today, Miss Sinclair. Because of you, we've arrested 17 members of the Moretti organization, including Victor Moretti himself. Your sister's files, combined with Mr. Cross's testimony, will put them away for life. Is he going to make it? Maya's voice sounded hollow. Damon. I don't know. Agent Chen's honesty was somehow comforting, but I do know he made sure you would. That livestream idea was brilliant and reckless, and exactly what we needed. 3 months later, Maya stood outside a federal courthouse, winter sun cutting through the cold. Inside, Marcus Reeves had just been sentenced to life without parole for Elena's murder, along with conspiracy charges that would keep him locked up until he died. Victor Moretti had gotten 3 consecutive life sentences. 17 others had taken plea deals, and Damon Cross had survived. Maya walked through security, down familiar corridors, to the room where they allowed her to visit him. He sat in an orange jumpsuit, scarred hands cuffed to the table, but his eyes lit up when he saw her. Hey, stranger. His voice was rough. Heard you testified yesterday. I did. Maya sat across from him, wanting desperately to touch him but knowing she couldn't. 20 years instead of life. Witness protection after. Agent Chen said you refused. I did what I did, Maya. I don't get to walk away clean. But you saved me. You brought down Moretti. That has to count for something. Damon smiled, sad and beautiful. It means I get to sleep at night knowing I finally did something right. That I helped finish what Elena started. That you're safe. Maya's throat tightened. I'm writing a book. About Elena. About corruption in the system. About how one person really can make a difference. And about you. Don't make me a hero in your story. I'm not one. You're mine. The words slipped out before she could stop them. You're my hero, Damon. Broken and scarred and imperfect. But mine. His cuffed hands reached across the table as far as the chains allowed. Maya met him halfway, their fingers barely touching. When I get out, he said quietly, if you still want me, I'll find you. I'll wait. Maya smiled through her tears. I'll wait as long as it takes. 20 years is a long time. Then I guess you'd better stay alive. She squeezed his fingers. Because I'm not done with you yet, Damon Cross. Not even close. As Maya walked out of the prison into cold sunlight, she pulled out her phone, scrolled through messages from readers who'd followed the story. From survivors of the Moretti organization thanking her for her courage. From the publisher eager to see her book, and one more. From an unknown number, your sister would be proud. Stay dangerous. A friend. Maya smiled, deleted the message, and started walking. Toward tomorrow. Toward justice. Toward the 20 years she'd spent building a life worthy of the broken, beautiful man who'd crashed into her world and changed everything. Some love stories end in happily ever after. This one ended in worth the wait. The end.